Okay, next one is on the CTUD, the up-down counter. So we're going to follow the same instructions that we have in the textbook here. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop in an up-down counter here. What we may want to do is just delete this counter, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just delete this network here, but I also have to delete the actual unit. Let's go offline from before. So it says you may want to just delete the existing counter instruction so no confusion occurs. Simply scroll down to the system blocks, program resources, and delete that counter. So system blocks is right here underneath your main OB, right? So if we click on this guy and then click on program resources, there's the counter that we had before. So let's click on that one and delete it out. Okay, sweet. Now when we drop a counter in, there won't be any conflicts with what we had before. Okay, so let's drop in our counter now. We can grab it from over here, right? So counters can be grabbed here, CTUD. You can also grab a blank box here, an empty box, and drop it down. So let's grab one from either way, doesn't matter. Drop her in there. I'm not going to give it a name at the moment, I'm just going to hit OK. Okay, and next thing we're going to do is we're going to add in a normally open to the CU. So we're going to grab this guy right here. And what do I have this one at? This one is percent input 0.6. Okay, that was going to be our count up input. Beautiful. And then we need one right here for the count down. So we'll grab this guy, drop it in there. Beautiful. This one is percent input 0.7. Okay, we had that name from the previous one, so let's match what we have here on the left hand side. So this is our countdown input. Beautiful. Okay, next thing we're going to do, it says add a normally open contact in series with both the reset and the load value. The load input, I've decided to use a preset value of 5 once again. Okay, so preset value of 5. Okay, and then we're going to drop in normally open contacts for the reset, and we're going to drop in normally open contact for the load. What are these guys? This is percent input 0.3. Okay, that looks good. And then this guy here is going to be our load input. I'll just rename this just so it's exactly the same. Okay, and then this one is percent input 0.4. Beautiful, that looks the same as that. Very nice. Okay, then it says we'll add an output instruction to the QU. Okay, so we'll grab this guy, drop her down, and then we're going to use percent Q 0.7. That's our counter output. Nice. And then it says let's assign a memory bit to QD. Okay. And so we've put, see, let's start by naming the QD output, counter CD output. Okay. So we're going to name this counter CD output. Okay. And then the next thing is we're going to define the tag. So we're going to click on this guy, right click on this guy, define the tag. Okay. And then I've got a note here. I don't want to turn an output on when the QD is true, but I do want to monitor its value. Let's keep it assigned to a memory bit address percent M0.0. Click define to exit this pop-up screen. Okay, so we got counter CD output matching with this guy, and this is going to be our memory bit. Looks good, so we're going to define that. Nice. Your CTUD instruction is complete and should look similar to the image below. Everything's now set up for the counter up-down program. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're either going to download to our physical PLC or to PLC Sim. Again, I'm using PLC Sim, so I'm going to do that. And then we'll orient the two screens so that we've got our TA portal and we've got our PLC Sim beside it as well. Okay, be back in 2 seconds. Okay, so I noticed that my Sim table, when I brought the values in from the project, wasn't the same. So I'm going to click on my TA portal, right, with the OB1, and then I'm going to download this. And now it's asking me to continue without synchronization, which will wipe out the values that I had in PLC Sim. And then hopefully when I bring the values in to my Sim table, then they should be identical to this program. So let's see. Nice. Okay, now everything's the same. Okay, so I'm going to go online. So what we're going to do is we're going to increment the count up input, right? So we're going to do positive pulses into this guy. So that is input 0.6. That's this guy right here. So every time that I press this push button, then we should see that the value increments up. Okay, so doing that now. And so you can see that it keeps going up. Okay, look, my preset value is 5, right? So my QU has not set yet. Once I go up one more, then my preset value and my current value will be identical, and then the QU should set. Nice. Okay, the issue with this program is that I can keep incrementing up, right? Up to whatever, like probably again 32,767. So we'll have to make use of some comparators later on. Alan Bradley makes use of like a limit function, but I believe we have to make use of a comparator in order to stop that from happening. Let's go to the countdown now. So we're going to go to input 0.7. So that is this input right here. And every time that we have a positive pulse into there, we should see this value go down. Okay, so we're 9, 8, 7, 6. Okay, then at 5, the QU should still be set, right? Because then the preset value and the current value are exactly the same. But once that value goes below the preset value, then we should see that QU turns off. Doing that now. Nice. Okay, cool. So you can use this for like a car park or something like that, where you have cars coming in, right? So you're incrementing up. Right? When the lot is full, then you have a lot full sign turn off. And then as soon as a car leaves the parking lot and you have a space that's available, right? So we're 4, we have a total spaces of 5, then the lot full light goes out. Cool, right? As we go down and decrement that value, so let's go to the countdown input again. Then we should go to 3, 2, 1. We'll get to 0. Okay, let's see whether this value goes below 0. Yes, it does. So again, we're going to have to put something else into this program. We're going to come back to this program later on with the comparators because right now we're having that issue in that we don't want it to go below 0 and we don't want it to go above 5. But for now, you can see the up-down counter obviously needs a couple other instructions to make it gorgeous. But right now we have the ability to increase values. And then with this one, once the preset value and the current value are the same, then the QU will set. And as long as the value is above the preset value, it will stay set. Once we decrease that value below the preset value, then the QU will no longer be set. Okay, there are 2 other inputs to this guy though. We do have the reset input here, so that was input 0.3. So let's investigate what happens there. We have a current count value of 4. So if I hit the reset button, then that should go to 0. So we'll do that now. Nice, so it goes to 0. And you can see here that the QD just went true. Okay, let's increment the value up. So let's count up. Okay, as soon as as the value went to 1, then the QD went to false. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful. Then our QU sets. And let's watch this QD as well when we go down, right? So we're going to go down. 1. At 0 it sets. Okay, so the QD sets at 0 there and stays set in negative numbers. Okay, the other one that we have, so we had the reset, so we can do the reset push button, this guy right here. It should, even though it's a negative number, should reset it to 0. Okay, so we'll click on that reset button now. Nice, case goes to 0. And then the other input that we have is the load. So that should work in that it loads the PV value to the CV. So let's do that, right? Let's find the load input and let's press that. And we should find that this comes up here. 3, 2, 1. Nice. So now we're at a value of 5. And because they're equal, then the Q sets. Cool, eh? So now hopefully we've got a good understanding of the up-down counter. Again, we'll have to add some comparators here to stop it from going above the preset value or below 0. But now we should have a pretty good understanding of all the components of the CTUD. Before we move away from this video though and move on to another PLC instruction, make sure that you save this program. We're going to come back to this program and we're going to make some modifications, as we said, because we want to limit the values to the count up or count down so that we don't go below 0 and above our preset value. All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this one. We'll see you guys on the next video.